All right, let's look at Tower Fantasy. Let's look at Tower Fantasy and just okay. It didn't get up to Genshin even at its peak. That's YouTube searches though. Let's just go web searches. Let's just see. Okay, it popped off pretty good. It popped off pretty good. But see, you see how Genshin popped off and then the baseline was pretty high. This popped off and then it went down real quick. So that means that it did not retain players. It did not retain that audience. This is kind of interesting. I think that Tower Fantasy does have some cool systems. Like, it has some potential. But they haven't been able to retain their players the same way that Genshin did. And it doesn't help that Sumeru dropped, right? It popped off, and then everyone went back to Sumeru right here. This is like the return of people going to Genshin. Not that many people returning because, like, I mean, it's not that huge of a bump, but I'm sure most people were playing Sumeru that played Tower Fantasy, and then, you know, they stayed. They stayed checking out all the pyramids in the desert and all that, but I don't know. What does Tower Fantasy have to do to, you know, pop off again? Do they need another region? Do they need something else? Like, they did do the 2.0 update, and it you know, it's got a little bumpier, but the 2.0 update doesn't seem to give it enough of a bump.